for me.
Oh, thank you, Pat. You ready to watch our film?
Go.
This is Stephanie, my best mate and my sister. Some of her favourite things are hugs, snuggles, dancing, swimming, rugby, wrestling, holidays and family. She is strong, determined, independent, sensitive, highly empathetic and loving. Oh, and there's one more thing that you probably did notice. Yes, Steph in fact was born with brown hair and brown eyes. Okay, so whenever I first set out to make this film, I thought of not mentioning once that Steph had Down syndrome, simply because there are a multitude of defining factors that make her who she is, and Down syndrome is not one of them. However, our family celebrate the fact that she was born with Down syndrome. It is a part of who Steph is, but I must stress this, it does not define her. Her love knows no bounds. Her smile and laugh are infectious. Steph is a caring and compassionate, loving girl. She is highly observant and can read emotions like an open book. Many years ago, I really wanted to write a book on the relationship I have with Steph, and although I most likely will write that book someday, I felt that a short collection of videos would really capture the essence of Steph's amazing personality.
Thank you. Press the button. Press it off. Ah, voila. Come on. I like it.
I like it.
I like it. After I go back for okay. All right, Chris.
Where are we, Steph?
We're just here. Sorry. Hey, Sabine.
Steph, for me, my first impression was she was just full of so much joy and love for anybody. I suppose the thing that I look forward to the most, because probably Sunday is the time that I would see her the most, I look forward to watching her come through those doors at the back of church. And she literally clumps eyes on you and she runs to see you. And you have to go brace, because you know you're going to get this most almighty hug. And it's so warm and so meaningful. And even those days where you're feeling a bit low in yourself, she just has that such big open smile and the arms open wide, and she gives you that such tight embrace. So full of life, I think, is a way in which I would describe Steph.
My first impression of Steph, probably if I had to choose one word, it would be happy. I think Steph just embodies happiness. And yeah, I think that would be the word I would pick.
My first memory of Steph was her walking into church and seeing you playing the drums and shouting your name. And she still does it when she walks into church. And it's like she has this overwhelming pride in the fact that her brother is sitting up playing the drums. And it always makes me smile that she comes in and the first thing she does is look up onto the church stage and smiles and shouts your name. Because she has this, like, that's my brother up there.
I remember the smile when she came up, and almost this openness or warmness of wanting to get to know you. That here was somebody who wanted you to speak to them, who wanted you to recognise them and talk to them, but also who was very, very keen to talk back and to share with you. So it was a strange kind of the shyness. The idea of her being shy was very, very quickly disappeared once she gets started to talk to you.
I saw your brother singing at church.
Oh yeah, she saw your brilliant singing.
Oh, thank you, Steph.
I just...
The drummer could do with a bit of practice.
Well,
What a performance.
what a performance. She gives everybody 10.
Oh, that's
Yeah, 10, 10, 10.
But I think, Chris, I mean, it's been so fantastic for us to have Steph in our church, because I think she has brought so much to us. And when Steph is there, as I said, that if I had to sum up meeting Steph in one word, it would be happiness. And I think she teaches us so much. She teaches us how to just actually be in the moment. She comes without any other ulterior motives or any agendas. Steph is just there. She's in the moment, and what she shows you is pureness, and it's real. And I think she teaches us so much through that. And it's quite impossible to be around Steph and not to feel that kind of slice of joy. And that is such a gift for us as a church. I think for us as a family, getting to know Steph, as individuals, we've learned so much from that.
What we got here?
What we got here?
Is that
Hey!
Yeah.
I just
Hi,
believe
Steph.
So, Helen has just said some lovely things about you, which you're going to see at some point.
she's perfect.
She's perfect. Yeah.
She's a great person.
Oh, well, Stephanie, I've just told Chris how much you mean to us and how much happiness you bring us and how we just love you so much. And we can't wait until the day that we can get a great big hug again. It'll be coming soon.
Woo!
She's coming for that, I'll tell you that.
She can't wait.
I can't wait.
Helen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sure we've all heard the saying, you become the people that you hang around with, or you're influenced by the people around you, for good or for bad. Something to that effect anyway. Growing up with Stephanie has had a massive impact on my life. And whilst I always knew this, I am only now realising the sheer magnitude of that impact. How would you describe mine and Steph's relationship?
Well, it's always been very special. I think right from the word go.
Yep.
You always would have been big brother, looking out for her, caring for her, involving her in things. Always, whenever you and your friends were here and playing, Steph was always in the middle of it, and you were always looking out for her. Even at school, you would always have been sticking up for anyone, for her in the instance when anybody would have mentioned anything about disability that was negative, or a situation where maybe she was having a bit of a struggle, you would always have stepped in. And I think making this film is a testament to just how strong your relationship is. As far as she's concerned, you're just her hero, and she's always looked up to you as that. So it's a lovely thing to see.
And I think that point about involvement, because she was never a hanger-on, she was never in the way, she was never, oh, is she coming? It was always, if Steph's not involved, we're not doing it. And that was really, really important for her and for us, and then obviously for you too.
Describing Steph's personality is challenging, simply because I feel that words don't do her justice. You really have to be in her presence to discover her infectious joy, love, happiness and positivity. What I find fascinating about Steph is if she's left to her own devices, she will do something incredible. If you try to put her in a position, you know, for example, this film has just been taking the camera out and capturing moments. Nothing scripted. It's all very improvised. You know, so she doesn't. She knows what she wants to do. She's very strong-headed, and you know. But as soon as you tell her to do something specifically that maybe goes against her routine, then you know she always comes through. But there's that sort of initial like, no, I want to do it my way. Yeah. And that probably comes from her independence. She wants to do things in her own time. What's her independence look like?
Well, just going back to what you said, you wouldn't want her any other way than determined to do it, and to do it her way and on her terms. Because if you have a child that's completely does absolutely everything you say, you know, she's got that streak of independence and desire and ability to work things out and work out how she can do certain things, and she uses that all the time.
She does.
Yes, I mean, it's lovely that she's keen to do things for us as well, you know, be it make a cup of tea or coffee and bring it in as a surprise and so on, or go and organise stuff in her room and what have you. She takes great pride in doing that.
She does.
That's very important that.
And she will do it very quietly.
Yeah.
She does, because she doesn't want anyone to follow her to help her.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, and she becomes very proud of herself, which is good. And actually, do you know what? Being proud of yourself is no bad thing. I know we need to do that a bit more sometimes. We need to be kinder to ourselves, and she's very kind to herself.
Well, she's very kind to herself and proper ordered.
If you want to sit down over there.
I just amazing. Hey yo! Kiss on me. Come on, kiss on me. Come here, my son.
Oh, thank you. So, what have we got here? What have we got here?
Oh, look, we did a picture. It was lovely, had a lovely time. And we were just looking around.
Just looking around. So I thought this would be a really nice idea, just for us to sit and look at some old photos. Some really, really cool ones.
Chris, do you know this one?
Let's see this one. You look really cute. Look at your face.
She's lovely.
She was lovely.
She is.
She still is lovely. That's
you. She was the same different. She got the same different one.
What about this one?
Sexy.
No, sassy.
Joking.
That is fantastic. Look at that pose. Look at that pose.
A pose.
A pose.
Sexy.
Sassy. Yeah.
She's very brilliant. Tired, something?
Probably was a bit tired. But you're not like that anymore. You don't cry, do you? You're quite a brave big girl, aren't you?
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you. You're grown up, aren't you?
Very grown up.
Very grown up. But you know what? Do you want to know something, Steph? That breaks my heart to see you cry.
Oh, please, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, we won't talk about it. But it does.
Because I just a big girl. So.
You are a big girl.
Because I don't make this anymore.
What is your Oh no. Oh dear.
Go on.
Look at that photo.
No, come on.
Oh, what was I going to say? I was going to ask you, what is your favourite photo?
What is wrong?
Oh no! What is going on there?
Look at your hair down.
Exactly, look at my hair.
Where lights come from, it's not right.
Oh, who knows? What was I thinking? Show the camera.
I told you not to tell me what you don't know for that carrot.
My eye? I only have one eye, don't I?
You know how why do you not get your eyes out?
But you, on the other hand, look beautiful.
I'm very stunning, I
You
am.
were very stunning, yeah.
Because
Still are.
I think it's my favourite one. So ours everywhere.
I love this photo
This will do it.
because you look so happy.
I loved it. It's good.
Don't you? Can you do that face? Class.
Steph's sunshine. In your darkest moments, Steph would have the capability of coming into your life, filling your heart full of love and light, and taking you on a different journey.
Wow.
Yeah, she's the happiest person I know. I mean, it's actually hard to feel down around Steph, I find. You know, she's always got a smile.
She's got a very high level of emotional intelligence, and she can buy in very quickly to how people are feeling and act appropriately to try and address that in them.
Oh yeah, she's certainly very empathetic. She can tune in very, very quickly.
Yes. And it's beyond what I would expect of most people.
Yeah.
Because it's this ability that she seems to have to embrace everybody. She doesn't care who you are, what car you drive, where you live. Everybody is on a level playing field with Steph, and everybody's equal, and they're all worthy of Steph.
No, this one is that's why I think she's got a smile.
She's got a smile. So, two very different photos in the same moment, pretty much. Sad and happy.
No, she's not.
What do you prefer being?
No, she's not happy. She's good.
Okay.
But look at that smile. Good. It's brilliant.
It's perfect smile. Lovely smile.
I think it's perfect to me.
This photo.
Where did you get that same one?
So that's called a bodyboard, and what you do is you lie on it and you either go along the beach, on the water, or ride the waves. Like a surfboard.
Wonderful, nice one.
I know. You are so tiny. But you want to know something, Steph?
Tell me what it is.
This photo is very special.
Is that special, okay, that one?
It's very special, okay? And I will tell you why it's so special.
Go on.
Because upstairs, I have a photo from the same day.
Oh.
From the same day, and it is you are pulling me along. In fact, it's upstairs. I'll go get it. I want to go and get it because it's so special.
Go get it, quick. Get faster as you can. Sorry, did you get it there?
Did. Now, look at this. On the same day, you're wearing the same clothes. Look.
See, I told you that.
Now, can I tell you something, Steph?
Tell me what did it.
This photo is so special.
You mean superb?
Superb. It is. So I'm going to tell you why this is so special.
Tell me. Come on.
So, you're very tiny, aren't you? Yeah?
I don't know. I don't want you doing that now.
Okay, you were very, very small. And so was I, but I was a lot bigger than you, wasn't I?
Why are you bigger? A bit longer.
Because I was older than you. Yeah? Now, what I love about this photo, Steph,
what's that?
Is even though you are so small... Oh, shivers?
I know, it's so annoying.
Don't worry. So even though you are a lot smaller, and see, to be honest, Steph...
Come on, tell me.
And I don't mean this in a bad way, but you were a lot weaker than me. Okay? But there you are, pulling me along on the beach. And I would have been quite heavy for you, wouldn't I? Wee bit.
Is that hard or not?
It was hard. It definitely would have been hard. But what I love, Steph, is even though I'm heavier than you, you were pulling me along.
Oh dear.
Okay? Because you wanted to support me and you wanted to pull me through the water. And I think that's so special. You still do that to this very day. You pull me along in life no matter what. So if I'm very sad and upset, you pick me up.
Come here, you got me.
I do, Pep.
Sweetheart, distance.
Yeah. This photo is so significant to me, mainly because it reminds me of the time whenever I was at my lowest, whenever I hit rock bottom. So about 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with depression, and my anxiety at the time was at its worst. I remember coming home one day, and after dinner I went straight to bed. I think Steph was aware, there's no doubt that she was aware that I wasn't feeling great at that time, around that time. But on that particular day, nothing was really said to her, but she sensed that something was up with me. Steph would normally come into my room, she would knock on the door and just want to come in for a chat, but on this occasion she kind of knew that wasn't appropriate. She sensed that something wasn't up, and it wasn't the time just to burst into my room and try and cheer me up. So she went into her room, and this is the first time that she's done this. She video called me. I wasn't really in the mood for taking calls, but I remember just picking up the phone, seeing her email address come up, and thought, wow, I need to pick this up. And I was greeted with this big smiling face, and she just asked, "You okay?" And then she kind of sang the song that she always sings, and we don't know where this came from, but it basically says, "Stay with me, I keep you safe." This was so significant. I actually took a screenshot of the phone, lying in bed, and her just with her face up to the camera. I wanted to remember that moment. And now and again she will take the notion to do the same thing. And actually from that, she, no one ever taught her how to do that. She just figured it out herself, and she knew she needed to do it. And up to this point she would regularly call family friends, which is just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Chris!
Yo!
I hear! There was that,
What does that say?
Mom, it's just my name.
Oh, hello, Stephanie.
Am I here now?
While my elves are searching through all the big books to see who's been naughty and who's been nice, better get back to work. See you soon. And don't forget to be good.
I love you.
My elves and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's not New Year yet.
To work. See you soon. And don't forget to be good.
She's moving you.
Merry Christmas.
Well done, Christopher. Well done.
Thank you.
That's okay.
We'll cope. Happy Christmas.
We'll cope. Sorry, I just can't.
It's alright.
No, I had to come back down.
Do you want to go first?
I think you have to go first.
Thank you. Ta-da. One more.
Just bit beautiful. For
Hungry
that,
reindeers.
and there are things just like
Perfect.
What?
Chance.
one time a year you
Thank you.
shut it up.
Thank you. Ooh. Do this one. Let's go. The Hungry Reindeers.
I know she is. She's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Spice it.
Is that good? And then
Is it hard to do? Sorry, Chris, I just hear. I'm sorry, we just got this radio for the food for that.
brilliant. So where are we going to sprinkle it?
But we never, that grass.
Perfect.
There we are.
Will I go?
You next.
Woo! Reindeer food.
Sorry. Chris, it's just for Santa's spice.
So I'm going to go in and do a double check.
Okay.
No, Chris, you have to stay. Will we get started then? Do you take this one with the first?
There you go. The new one. Excellent. We haven't seen that one yet, Jen.
Hi! Woo woo! Look.
Oh, you got a new iPod cover. Yeah?
Wow.
It's you when we're talking!
What?
Look.
Oh.
I do not in the knot. Just hurt in the knot. Fingers crossed. Oh my word, look at that Graziano.
Look at Graziano. Isn't he gorgeous?
Wow.
Get in there and get it.
No, I'm not putting my head.
You know?
I'm not putting on my head.
Where'd you go?
Hi. This year our Christmas is at home. We're delighted to be able to celebrate together, to celebrate the birth of Jesus. Jesus' birth.
I got a new mug. Guys, look.
Who's it?
Graziano.
Graziano from Strictly.
Told ya.
I think we're just glad it's not life size.
Graziano, you can dance with me soon. I said my head.
Sam, oh my goodness.
It's just a roasties. Look.
Stop it. No way.
Christopher Spalding.
Isn't that brilliant?
This person my game we're talking about.
Excellent.
It's champagne with a shot of vodka. Yes, it's delicious.
It's a genius. Cheers to you.
Happy New Year, folks!
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I just wonder, are there any moments that stick out in your heads that just make you smile or laugh?
Yeah, well, you know, as we were saying, because we have to facilitate all the activities that she's involved in, and she's involved in a lot of things. So it's wonderful to be able to share her joy of all the things that she's passionate about.
Yeah.
There are many moments.
I think there's probably two that we're both thinking about that happened in exactly the same place, and that was Ravenhill. The one that stands out in my mind is whenever the Clare Hares were performing during the half-time in a match, Ulster against Munster, and Stephanie came out and she enjoyed herself on the pitch. She never touched the ball. She didn't want to leave the pitch, and then she ran off holding the hand of Gary Dorman, a good friend of ours, waving and being cheered to the rafters by 30,000 Ulster supporters. And it was just one of those moments you could not have made it up. It was just wonderful. She waved to the crowd and they waved and cheered back, and it was just glorious.
She loves attention.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That's not being around the bush. She loves it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And another moment. I mean, you're sort of, you know, we're all proud of our children and things they do, and one thing that really stands out in my mind was when she took part in her first Knick-Knack competition in Lisburn with her dance class, and they had to perform their routine in front of a few hundred people, and that moment for me really stood out because, you know, I didn't know, would she freeze? Would she run off? What would happen? And she just performed with the class. No mistakes. It was just one of those special moments.
It was.
And
I know that if I was in that situation, I don't know if I would have been the same. I thought I would have.
Oh, you think you probably would, and I don't want anybody to think that when she goes to Ravenhill she doesn't do anything, because she'd been there before. She'd been at a wooden spoon event, the first one she went to, and she scored a try at Ravenhill, and there's not that many parents could say their daughter scored a try at Ravenhill, so that was another wonderful moment.
Very true. That is
we
very
both
true.
witnessed that, and it was just wonderful, and her joy at doing it was just wonderful.
Steph was always the first one over to make sure that person was okay.
Yeah.
There's always been that need to protect, or the need for compassion for other people. And she really loves being around other kids. And whether it's other kids that are younger than her, other people in the class, I think she just loves being in the company of other people and doing dance and kind of expressing herself like that. Then stepping into being a teacher, I think whenever Holly, Laura and I were sitting down and going through what we wanted our company to be, I think Steph probably played a major role in that, because as I said to you before, that whole side of compassion and showing caring for other people, and also for us as teaching staff, learning how to interact with either different capabilities or the things that different people wanted in a class. I think Steph has made that impact on all of us, that we have tailored what we have done, and she has kind of helped us extend that out to every other person that we have in our company, you know, whether that's in class. Like, we're not overly strict with the kids, like, you'll know this, like, our whole thing was about friendship, fun, making sure they had a love of dance, they had an opportunity to perform, and they just did something that they all really had a good time doing. And I think that embodies what Steph is at dance class. You know, you knew whenever you were coming through the front door, if she was coming through the front door, the first thing you're always going to get is a hug. You know, and that happened maybe in the middle of class, if you were trying to move her and you were like, right, go into this position now, she'll give you a hug then, or leaving class. She was always someone, you know, it's just something you came to expect from her. And then sometimes, even though she has more strength than she realises that she has, do you know what I mean? Sometimes, even like when Jenny comes down to class or anything like that now, she would say exactly the same. She knows fine rightly the first thing she's getting if Steph's in the class is a hug.
Oh yeah.
So I think she really made an impact on me, probably for compassion. You know, it's just something that she has, and it's infectious.
As you've already heard, Steph started attending church with me, and whilst I knew her attendance had been having an impact on both her and other members of the congregation, I wasn't fully aware of the magnitude of this impact until I started to talk to some of our friends.
I suppose whenever we're doing kids' songs, Steph wants to be involved in whatever we're doing. She's just so open to being involved in that. And it's full of joy when she's worshipping. It's infectious. And to be invited in whenever Steph's worshipping, to be invited to worship with her is something really special. It's something that I want everybody to be able to experience, because she just worships on a level that is just so open and honest. She comes to the front of the church and, you know, taking part with the kids' songs. It's just great. But there was one Sunday in particular, you know, we'd gone to the front, we'd done the actions, we came back down, and Steph was sitting behind me, and we got up to sing another song, and this wee hand came forward and she held on to my hand as we worshipped. And that morning, I couldn't sing, because I was just so... being part of Steph's worship was just so special. And it just reminds me, you know, that we're all there together, worshipping together, but it just brought a new dimension to worship for me.
You know, if you were to sort of ask me what she has brought to us, how she has enriched our life as a church, I think one of the things that Steph can make us do is she can make us braver. And I think that one of my earliest memories is we were in a prayer meeting, and there was a group of us, and we'd been praying together before the service, and there was a few in that group who I think were always quite nervous about praying in public or praying out loud. And Steph came in that morning, and we just opened it for prayer, and a few people prayed, and then Stephanie just prayed, and then she just turned to the person next to her and she said, "Okay, your turn. You need to pray." And it was brilliant, because it was a person that never normally prayed out loud, and they just kind of smiled and they prayed. And then the next person prayed. So that morning, probably for the first time in that prayer group, everybody prayed. Everybody had the confidence to pray. And if one of us had have asked them, I think it would have made them nervous, or it maybe would have seemed like a, quite a threatening thing to ask them to do, for whatever reason. It would have made them uncomfortable. Steph asked them, and she comes from a place of just complete love. And I think people prayed then completely trusting Steph. It came with her invitation to pray, came with a hug, and it came with a hand to hold. And she changed us that morning. I think she changed our dynamic, and I think she brought a lot of us out of our comfort zones. She shook us up a little bit, and 100% God used Steph in that situation, and that had a lasting impact. And that's one of my earliest memories of Steph.
And whenever you're leading praise and you see her down the church and she is singing at the top of her voice, it brings so much joy. Her way of praising God may be slightly different than our way of doing it, maybe slightly louder, but she is just amazing. She has interest in wanting to sing behind the mic as well. So there have been times where she's come up the front of the church and she's taken part with the kids' songs as well. And she just embraces every part of church life, which is just brilliant.
There's never been a barrier between the pair of you. You've never been resentful or thought, well, why does she get so much attention? Because she was very poorly and required a lot of support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those first couple of years.
Yeah.
That first year particularly, when she, even feeding her was a problem, and kind of quite demanding. And
so
then post-operation, she still required a lot of care and attention.
Yeah.
But she certainly is. She is a strong support for you. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bond you have is very unique. Very few brothers and sisters have such a close bond.
Pops!
Oh, there she is. Stuck in there.
So where am I?
Oh, she was worried too, weren't she? Oh, she was worried too.
Thank you for finding Chris. Good girl. Good girl.
You got the eyeball. Relationship there that needs to be discussed. I mean, she just looks forward to.
Mm-hmm. She loves Pops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She really does.
Yeah, and the very first time, cause she was always afraid of dogs, and then years ago we looked after a dog for 3 weeks when its owner was on holiday, and I can remember Boxing Day. Steph in next door with Tess the dog, and I walked in and Steph was sitting there with a DVD player and 2 DVDs, saying to Tess the dog. He was sitting very quietly, his head looking about her. Right, what's it going to be, Annie, or whatever the other one was? And she was saying to the dog, right, what are we going to watch here? Here's take your pick, And that dog was a very quiet dog and just sat beside her, and that I think helped start her. Maybe not all dogs were to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But she was quite nervy of Poppy to start with.
Well, Poppy was
because
a
Poppy
lady.
was a
puppy.
pup.
Yeah.
But Poppy because of how Steph treated Poppy very quickly learnt you didn't do that with Steph. And so when Steph comes, Poppy goes in low and turns over.
Still does it.
And just greets her in a very different way to the way she greets other people. So there's definitely a connection there.
You were in another room.
What do you think of Mum? What do you like most about Mum?
I think she's a great person.
She's
smart.
She is smart. And what about Dad?
She's a great lad.
He's a great lad. I'm going to tell him you said that. Great lad.
When there isn't a pandemic happening, she's at Drumross Adult Centre and she absolutely loves going there. She would be in with a group of adults, obviously. Big wide age range, anything from sort of 19 up to people in their 50s and 60s. And she just gets on with everything. And okay, we're not there all the time, but we have been up there, and it's just like at Muriel's. I've watched her, if somebody's upset, if somebody's quite severely disabled and perhaps in a wheelchair and unable to move, she will help, she'll push the wheelchair, she'll comfort them whenever the need arises. I remember once somebody referred to her as a social butterfly because she just flits backwards and forwards to wherever the action is.
But I mean, her days are just filled with all the things she loves to do, and you know, she has many opportunities when she's there. I think one of the standout moments for me was when she came home from one of the activity days that they had with her trophy for best assistant.
That's right.
Which I think, you know, said it all, because you know that need in her to be supportive and show her caring side and so on was recognised. That was just lovely. It was a lovely moment.
Oh, it really was.
So that was something she really treasured.
And I mean, through the adult centre, she's a member of a choir, and they have sung at events all over County Antrim, and probably beyond. And you know, she throws herself into that with such gusto. Nobody in their right mind would call her a brilliant singer, but you couldn't fault her enthusiasm.
No.
She really throws herself into that and loves doing it, loves performing.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously at the dance class as well, she loves that.
Oh yeah.
So all good stuff for her.
You know, she says you're good for me at the right time, and what I want to say back to her with this film is, no, you're good for me. But also, you guys have been very good for her. Very good for me as well.
And with the same vein, she's been very good.
She's been very good for us too. Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
There's no doubt our lives are very much enriched. By the fact that she's here.
Stephanie is the epitome of love and joy. She has no major upsets or stresses in life. She has no negative feelings towards anybody and treats everybody on a level playing field. She enters a room and makes everyone smile. She greets everyone like they are the most important person in the room. And she quite literally changes lives with her positive attitude and warming hugs. In my opinion, there really isn't anyone in this world that expresses love the way Steph does. She does, however, feel the same emotions, the same pain, and sees exactly what everyone sees. It's just how she processes things that is different. Now, I know that I'm constantly referring to Steph throughout this film, but I would like to point out that all of these statements are not just reflective of her. For example, Steph is surrounded with a lot of close, loving friends. More than me, I might add. They lift her up and support her, just as she gives back.
Hey, Stephanie, you look beautiful and gorgeous today.
Aww.
And I learn just as much from her as she learns from me, if not more. When someone asks me what it's like to live with Steph, it is really hard to sum up in just a few sentences. I will reiterate this point. Steph has Down syndrome, but it does not define her. It is, however, a beautiful part of her and should be celebrated. Without Down syndrome, she wouldn't be Steph. But it isn't, and nor should it be, the defining factor of her existence. Steph, you're so loved by everyone, and please know that even though you always say you're good for me, I want you to know that you are so good for me.
You're funny.
No, Chris, I sing you.
Oh, lovely.
You did.
Christopher!
So bad.
It's tying up.
So, see whenever we're doing the picnic,